Greetings and welcome to PRLostGalaxy2014's vlog series on Power Rangers Dino Charge, as I cover today episode 4, Return of the Caveman. After watching this episode this morning, rewatching it though, this episode pretty much advanced Dino Charge to the next level, especially for a Koda focused episode, since this episode gave us the exploration of what Koda's character is like. We already know that he's a caveman and how he survived after 100,000 years and how he was frozen in suspended animation from those 100,000 years since he found his blue energem and such like that. There are a couple of things that really christened in my interest from this episode within the series. First off, we are introduced to Koda's origin of when he was with his brother, and how Koda was digging through the rock wall, how he found his blue energem and how his blue energem bonded with him. And even when and then we get to a scene where his little brother, whose name is hard to know, where he takes the torch by the edge creek of where the high-rise ground is. And then all of a sudden, a poorly animated CG saber-toothed tiger comes in and tries to attack him. Luckily, Koda goes out there to intervene. And then the little boy yells Koda out. And then the blue energem's energy goes straight to Koda's body all the way around. And then somehow hearing his little brother's just screams pretty much woke Koda up, and then started, because you see, as we know from Koda's character, despite him being a caveman, it's hard for him to adapt to modern society and modern technology, and also knowing that he doesn't have perfect English, but so whatever. When he does go around near technological things, modern day things like, television, smartphones, even the dino cycles, as soon as when he saw the other Rangers and Kendall with the Dino Cycle, which by the way is I'll get to my opinion on the Dino cycles very little later soon. He starts freaking out and wondering, as soon as when the Dino Cycle started to jump up, Koda wants to take his stick and try to whack the cycle with it. And even what was surprising was when he smashed Shelby's cell phone. That was pretty funny. That was a little funny. I did a little small chuckle when he did that. Even in scenes when he was talking with Chase at the park of how to ride a bike while Chase is on his skateboard, and then talking about why Koda is not into, modern technology and modern social interactions as such, he starts freaking out. Like, for example, like in the 3 scenes where he, when he goes near something scary off of television, which albeit is a vampire, some guy dressed up as a vampire, he takes his some stick and just whacked the TV and broke it. And then the second scene when he tried to comb his hair, that didn't work out and he had a hard time combing. And then when he gets to glass, he bumps right to the screen. He just bumps right to the mirror, and then something spills on him and on the mirror itself. That goes to show he's just not really good with being around certain items. But when we get to future episodes, even if we'll have another 2 or 3 or 4 more Koda focused episodes, we'll get to know more about why he's like this and why he's like that, until he'll develop very more as the series goes through. The monster of the day in this episode is Slammer, who, by the way, is voiced by, yet again, the same actor from Power Rangers Mystic Force, Nick Sampson, who played Chip, the yellow Mystic Force Ranger. Last time I heard him do a voice role of a monster in Power Rangers was last season's Skatana monster from Super Mega Force. Anyway, and then also, I think what was a somewhat detracting thing in my opinion was when we get to Sledge, Poisandra, Fury, and Rechinum, we are introduced to what appears to be Poisandra's new friend, Curio. Based on that, because, to be honest though, that green, Digimon-like monster thing of Poisandra's from the Sentai version, I'm not that big of a fan of his character. I can see how much annoying his character could be. Trust me. I was expecting something serious from Dino Charge, and now since you brought that thing along, that little green thing along, that little green thing of terror along, you want to give Poisandra someone to be with, so that way Sledge can focus on doing what he has to do to get the Energems, conquer the Earth, and destroy the Power Rangers. Willis, when knowing Poisandra sooner or later in the series, will have a chance to fight the Rangers. If her Sentai counterpart, whose name I have a hard time pronouncing, from Kyuryuger, can fight later on throughout its predecessor in Sentai, she will someday in the future will do the same here in Power Rangers. But if Judlin forgets to write and go by what Poisandra's counterpart was like in Kyuryuger, then I wouldn't be. And if he doesn't write in about, if Poisandra will get a chance to fight the Rangers on her own without Sledge or anyone with her, say for the Vivix and a Monster, then I would be very disappointed. Even though I've only seen a couple of episodes of Kyuryuger, but not with episodes where Poisandra's counterpart, Candodelia, whatever how you pronounce her name, could fight. So yeah. And I'll talk more about Poisandra if there will be a Poisandra focused episode eventually soon. Anyway, we get back to, as I was talking about the monster, he takes these chained cages and traps people with them, but he only captured 2 Rangers, Chase and Koda, plus the little boy Peter, of whom Koda saves. And I really also like in this episode the interaction between Koda and Peter, which is very reminiscent to back from Koda's backstory opening, when we saw little to less interaction with Koda's little brother. So, and then also in the meantime, the other Rangers go out to find Chase and Koda, who is trapped in the cave, while Koda somehow is the only one who made it out and saving the little boy that he rescued from the previous park location to the cave, to getting out of the cave. And by the way, and also now let's get to the Dino Cycle bit. I like the Dino Cycles. For the first time in 7 years, pretty much, since Power Rangers Jungle Fury, although the Strike Rider vehicle in Jungle Fury was so-so in my opinion. Most of you guys don't like the Strike Rider vehicle that Casey had in Jungle Fury. But this is the first time in 7 years in Power Rangers that we will ever see a motorcycle set of vehicles in any future season's arsenal to ever be shown here. And this is the first time in a Neo Saban brand season of Power Rangers where the Rangers do have motorcycles in their arsenal. Although whereas in previous toy lines of the Neo Saban era, like Samurai and Megaforce, you would only get these poopy ass cycles that, with those poorly painted, poorly non-posable Rangers on them, like of course this Turbo Cycle from Super Megaforce, which I got recently, weeks ago. But luckily, finally we have. And then and by the way, when I do review the Dino Cycles as toys to add to my Power Rangers toy collection, especially my Dino Charge collection sooner or later, I'm going to say that the Dino Cycles are a lot better than the Megaforce and Super Megaforce and Samurai Cycles, although I don't have the Samurai Cycles, I only have 2 Super Megaforce ones. And knowing that the Dino Charge Cycles and their respective Ranger figures, red, blue, and black, are a lot better, though, like, as much as with the flaw about them lacking paint on their figures on the Cycles. But anyway, and I would like to see the function in a future episode, probably by this week's episode, Breaking Black, when the Rangers use the Dino Cycles again, and because the Dino Cycles can separate each other by revealing many dinosaurs on wheels, like of course from Sentai, and then even as a gimmick to the toy line. In general, in terms of the monster, I really liked the Monster Slammer, pretty much because mainly it's because of Nick Sampson doing the voice of the character. One of the best moments of this episode is when the Rangers extend the roll call. I mean, we already get the roll call of, "It's morphin' time! Dino Charger, ready!" And, but we get a more extended roll call, and even limited to their roll call footage from Kyryuger, we get them say, like for example, Tyler goes, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Power Ranger Red, etc. That was awesome. And that was some good, splendid use of using that stock footage from Kyryuger of the roll call. And to think we would get no footage of them doing that roll call. Anyway, while Koda and Shelby deal with the Vivics on foot, Tyler and Riley use their dinocycles to take on Slammer. And even what's also awesome is that they can use their weapons while riding on their dinocycles. That's pretty cool. Although previous seasons of Power Rangers, when they had motorcycles, you can't do it. You just gotta ride on the cycle and attack an enemy. That's it. End of story. The monster was defeated early. Slammer was defeated in the meantime. Then what was also a little funny was when Sledge bellows to a Vivic foot soldier to come toward him and to press that giant button to make his monster grow. And, you know, when I think about when Sledge said what he said about firing the, I forgot what it was called. It'll come back to me eventually, especially when I memorize it in the next vlog. You know, that giant button where he fires to make his monster grow, fires something to make his monster grow. It's like, think of Sledge going with that Divatox vibe of firing the torpedoes thing from Turbo, whereas here in Dino Charge, it's this giant button. But although back in the Turbo days of the show, when Divatox would send Rygog or so to fire the torpedoes, when you press the torpedo button on her submarine ship, it's a small green button. But in this season of Power Rangers Dino Charge, with the button to make the monster grow, it's a big ass red button that says fire on it. We are also introduced when we get to the Megazord battle, where we are introduced to the Velociraptor Zord of Riley's. And we would get the Dino Charge Megazord's Velociraptor formation, and although Shelby is still in the Megazord, but it's just her Zord is removed, while she is still in the Megazord, but Riley comes in the group. Now, when we get to Saturday's episode, when we get a chance to be introduced by Chase's Parasaur Zord later this coming week's episode, we're going to get the Dino Charge Megazord's Parasaur formation. Sorry, I was taking it too slow. But anyway, the Megazord finished, the Dino Charge Megazord finished off Slammer with his Velociraptor finisher and final strike, and the monster just went extinct, giving the Rangers another victory. And the episode ends where Peter tells his friends of how he was saved by a caveman who was actually Koda, who is also, well, not to expose his Ranger identity, and also Koda also congratulates him for being a brave, kid and all of that. And then also he wants to tell Peter how is he going to ride a bike. And although Koda had a hard time earlier when he was with Chase trying how to ride a bike, and it's going to take a long time for Koda to get used to with these modern customs and such. Personally, since we're now down to 4 episodes in, Saturday will be 5 in a row, Power Rangers Dino Charge is getting better and better and better. I just hope the season continues to keep up with what it's doing than what the previous years did. And I hope this series continues to be awesome. I don't want to see a future episode where something, I was about to sneeze, is about to drag the series down to a level than ever before. So what do you guys thought about Return of the Caveman? Was it a good episode? Was it a bad episode? Was it a so-so episode? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'm off for now. Thanks for watching my next Dino Charge vlog. The next vlog will be on episode 5, Breaking Black.